Hello, my name is Ciara Golden, and today I will be introducing you to my acts of global citizenship. Global citizenship means a lot to me. You and I, as people, can do various amounts of things to help make the world a better place. Being a good global citizen can be helping not pollute the air that we breathe by not smoking, recycling every now and then or maybe every day, or maybe even picking up trash on the side of the roads that we drive. There are so many things that we can do individually or together as a whole to make a difference in today's world. The whole month of October, I decided to drink nothing but water for the having an open mind part of my project. No milk, no juice, no pop, just water. I collected all of my plastic bottles of water and put them in one bag. On November 1st, I recycled my 34 empty bottles of water. One reason I wanted to do this is because I wanted to see the difference in how my body felt. I wanted to see if I was more energetic, if I was getting less acne. I just wanted to see if I was feeling better overall. And I was. I also want to give an example of how you can take care of your health by making one slight change. Because global citizenship starts with helping yourself. If you can't help yourself, you can't help others. I decided to recycle all of those plastic bottles because that is something that I never do. I never really took recycling very seriously, but throughout this class I have learned that it is okay to want to make a difference, and I am willing to change my bad habits. Recycling helps save energy. It reduces the release of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane. It helps reduce air and water pollution, and it also helps reduce the need to use raw materials. Recycling helps the environment in the world we live in a lot of ways, and I just wanted to contribute to that. I also compared the effects of soda and water, and here's what I found. Soda adds 150 calories to your calorie intake, while water adds none. Water hydrates your body, reduces dryness in your skin, and prevents dehydration, while soda does the total opposite. Another thing I want to mention is that in the month of November, I started back drinking juice for about 2 weeks, and this is what started happening to my skin. It dried out. This is a picture of the dryness on my chest and on my hand. It is now beginning to heal, but I think that I am just going to stick to water. Health is one of our topics in this global citizenship course, and I wanted to show that it did have an impact on me and my lifestyle. Furthermore, to educate myself, I did research on the Indian culture. I chose to do this because in my cultural anthropology class, I learned a lot about the Indian culture and their traditions and beliefs. I also wanted to educate myself on the Indian culture because my grandmother was an Indian, but I didn't get a chance to meet her because she died before I was even thought of. I asked myself 3 questions. What does the Indian culture do differently from my culture? What do they value, and what is their environment like in India? They do a lot of things different from what I am used to, but I'm just going to speak on the few that stood out to me. They greet each other by placing both hands together and bowing silently. They dislike to refuse something or someone. I guess in other words, they don't like to reject or say no. And they avoid giving black or white gifts. Black denotes anger, evil, and negativity, while white is reserved for funerals and mourning. In the African American culture, black usually is reserved for funerals and white is more for peace and positivity. They also serve their food very differently too. Guests are generally served in a hierarchical order. Guests of honor, men, and then children. Women may eat later. Usually in the African American culture, anybody can eat whenever they want, and usually everyone eats at the same time. Indians value a number of things too, like cooperation, generosity, and patience. Cooperation is the most valued because it is highly rooted in the past when cooperation was needed for survival, which was also mentioned in my anthropology class. They believe that the respected person is not one with large savings, but rather one who gives generously. So they believe that you earn respect by giving to others, and I also found that they believe that that is a good act of global citizenship, which answers my second research question. Patience is valued because they think that that is a good quality to have, like the time-consuming works of art that they create, which takes a whole lot of patience. In my anthropology class, I learned that they really value their art, and the art is very nice, which is shown in these pictures here. However, the environment in India is much more worse than where we live. Air pollution, poor management of waste, growing water scarcity, falling groundwater tables, water pollution, preservation and quality of forests, biodiversity loss, and land and soil degradation are some of the major environmental issues India faces today. They even have lack of flood control. The various cultures in our world differ greatly, and there are some things that happen globally that we must try to change. This now leads me into the hunger in our world. To get involved in my community, I went to the Goodwill in Lansing, Illinois and donated some food. My original plan was to do what I mentioned in my midterm. It was a question that asked, what's something creative that you would do to pay it forward? Or something of that sort. And I said that I would go to a corner where homeless people are and sit a bag of food there for them. But my dad was afraid that it was unsafe, so I went to the Goodwill instead. Around the back of the store, they have a little donation window. On Sunday, November 12th, I donated cereal and canned food. As I approached the man to give him my donation, I noticed in the background how much stuff people donated. It was a lot of stuff. I saw plenty of shoes, clothes, and food just sitting there piling up. I looked and turned and looked again and just stared. It made me feel like somebody other than myself cared. It made me tell myself, maybe a change is going to come. It made me feel like us as global citizens can come together to create greatness. I love the feeling that I got knowing that I was helping a person eat and many others around me was too. This relates back to the video we watched on hunger. Lots of people around the world are really hungry and have no money and no way to get food for themselves. It is up to us, those who are more fortunate, to make a change. The having an open mind part of my project relates back to global citizenship, but how recycling helps the environment. It helps our world globally in many positive ways, like some that I previously mentioned. It is something that us as global citizens can do to help our environment continue to grow in the right direction. Our health is another major thing that is indeed important. Our rights as global citizens is to take care of ourselves physically, mentally, and emotionally. Me being a part of the health facilitation group, I wanted to give an example of a way we can keep our health intact. That is why I chose to go on a water diet and compare it to soda. I chose to recycle because I was already aware of the good causes it had, and also because it is something I never think about. I also want to mention that I attended the Respond to Violence Impact to Mental Health ceremony here at Governor State, which introduced me to another global issue involving jail inmates that I was not aware of. Here are some pictures that I took. I really enjoyed it and happy that I went. The educating myself part of my project relates back to global citizenship, but how it shows the characteristics and facts about a different culture. There are many different cultures and ethnicities in the world we all can learn from. Indians do things different, believe in different things, and speak to one another in a different way. But overall, we all are people, we all are equal, and we can come together and do things to show our passion and dedication to global citizenship, no matter where we come from. The getting involved in my community part of my project relates back to global citizenship, but how hunger is a huge problem that is faced by many around the world. Hunger has to be one of the top 10 problems faced around the entire world. Every time I go home, I see at least one homeless person begging for money to get food. Me knowing that the food that I donated will be one hungry person's meal really makes me feel good. I see the homeless digging through garbage and eating thrown away food too, which answers my first research question, which is, how do people help the world globally without them even knowing it? All the food being thrown away around the world actually helps many hungry people. When we throw away food, we don't think about the homeless. We don't think about how this is really helping someone. I learned a lot from this project and also from this class as a whole. I became more aware of the different issues around the world and how I can help as a global citizen. Sometimes it is good to step out of your comfort zone and do something different for a change. Doing for just one person can go a long way. I've learned to appreciate the things that I have even more because it is people who don't have none of the things that I do. I've learned to be grateful and to have an open heart because one day I might need it too. I am leaving this class dedicated to being the best global citizen I can be and persuading others to do the same as well.